Q9364. A pilot is flying in IFR weather conditions and has two-way radio communications failure. What altitude should be used? A. Last assigned altitude. Altitude ATC has advised to expect, or the MEA, whichever is highest. B. An altitude that is at least 1,000 feet above the highest obstacle along the route. C. A VFR altitude that is above the MEA for each leg. The correct answer is A. The pilot should maintain the last assigned altitude received from ATC before the communication failure occurred. If no altitude was assigned, the altitude that ATC has advised to expect should be maintained. Alternatively, if neither of these altitudes is available, the pilot should maintain the MEA for the specific route segment being flown. The MEA is the altitude that provides adequate obstacle clearance along the route. 9365. A pilot is holding at an initial approach fix after having experienced two-way radio communications failure. When should that pilot begin descent for the instrument approach? A. At the EFC time, if this is within plus or minus 3 minutes of the flight plan ETA as amended by ATC. B. At flight plan ETA as amended by ATC. C. At the EFC time as amended by ATC. The correct answer is C. When a pilot is holding at an initial approach fix after experiencing two-way radio communication failure, the appropriate time to begin the descent for the instrument approach is at the EFC. Expect further clearance. Time as amended by ATC. The EFC time is provided by ATC to indicate when further clearance or instructions can be expected. 9389. What altitude and route should be used if the pilot is flying in IFR weather conditions and has two-way radio communications failure? A. Continue on the route specified in the clearance and fly the highest of the following. The last assigned altitude. Altitude ATC has informed the pilot to expect, or to the MEA. B. Descend to MEA and, if clear of clouds, proceed to the nearest appropriate airport. If not clear of clouds, maintain the highest of the MEAs along the clearance route. C. Fly the most direct route to the destination, maintaining the last assigned altitude or MEA, whichever is higher. The correct answer is A. The pilot should continue flying on the route that was specified in the clearance received from ATC before the communication failure occurred. The altitude to be maintained should be the highest of the following. The last assigned altitude received from ATC, the altitude ATC has informed the pilot to expect, or the MEA along the route. This ensures obstacle clearance and adherence to the assigned routing. 9390. While in IFR conditions, a pilot experiences two-way radio communications failure. Which route should be flown in the absence of an ATC assigned route, or a route ATC has advised to expect in a further clearance? A. The most direct route to the filed alternate airport. B. An off-airway route to the point of departure. C. The route filed in the flight plan. The correct answer is C. The filed flight plan represents the intended route of the flight and is typically based on factors such as airspace restrictions, airway availability, and preferred routes. By following the filed route, the pilot can maintain a predictable and coordinated flow of air traffic, ensuring safety and minimizing conflicts with other aircraft. 9098. It is the responsibility of the pilot and crew to report a near midair collision as a result of proximity of at least A. 50 feet or less to another aircraft. B. 500 feet or less to another aircraft. C. 1,000 feet or less to another aircraft. The correct answer is B. A near midair collision is defined as an incident involving an aircraft operation in which there is a risk of collision due to an aircraft's proximity, less than 500 feet, to another aircraft, or when a pilot or other flight crew member reports that there is a collision hazard between two or more aircraft.